Hello everyone, Happy New Year. It's Jason at Golf Principles UK here, and today we're talking about grips. Now, it's January, it's freezing cold, got the body warmer on, but we want to get ourselves ready to go for the sort of season that's going to come eventually. So let's talk about grips. Grips are really important. It's the only part of you that touches the club. So being comfortable, fitting the hand, and working with what you want to feel texture-wise is really important. So I've got a few selections here. I'm just going to run you through a few ideas and concepts. You know, it might be a case of going, well, I already know that, or I didn't think about that, but it's something which I think is really important to understand. Is actually the grip is a misunderstood and often overlooked part of the sort of fitting process. Now, as we've sort of moved on in the last few years, we've definitely seen an increase in bigger size grips. So the +4 grip that you've seen everywhere now is probably our biggest selling unit from Golf Pride. So what does that mean? It means it's basically got a very little taper or a reduced taper on the way down. So the right hand is bigger. It also feels a little bit bigger on the left hand compared to a conventional multi-compound. These are the two of the team's colours. There is a definite reduced taper feel on the blue one. And I always think the left hand on the +4 feels a fraction bigger as well. So if you want it to feel sort of, in traditional terms, 2 layers, but a little bit bigger than 2 layers, but you feel that 3 layers is too big on the left hand, the +4 is going to be really good for you. And also, if you've got quite a lot of rotation in the right hand, that slightly fatter right hand, or built up right hand, I should say, slows that rate of closure down a fraction. So if you've got a little bit flippy on it, that might be a good idea. Now, if you're going to go extreme, you go Jumbo Max, okay, the DeChambeau grip, as you want to call it. Now that is, again, you can start to see a slight taper, reduced taper concept. Very big in the left hand. This one actually is a small, so it's already massive. Great if you've got arthritic hands or you've got closure issues. You can want to keep the grip pressure light. This is really good. However, this is definitely for the guys that want to be palm to palm. What I would call the Mo Norman type concepts or the DeChambeau concepts. So this is very much for the guy or girl that wants to go palm like this. Now, coaches might not agree with that or whatever, but if you can't play because your hands have got arthritis, this could be a solution. We've seen that a lot with the senior golfers who struggle with closure. And again, if you want to take the rate of closure down to literally a bare minimum, this is your ticket. Now, texture is really important. So you've got 3, possibly what I would call 4 textures to go on. Your traditional cord, which is firm, hard, you know, cut your hands up job. Again, not many made now. Got a Lamkin Crossline here, and the Tour Velvet full cord, when it's available, is the 2 that stand out as being the only full cord options that are available. Back in the day, you had loads more than that. But again, very firm, quite a hard feel. Now on the opposite spend, you've got this CPX, which is the new Golf Pro grip, which is basically soft as, really spongy. Almost you qualify as too spongy, but some people really like that softness, almost like a tennis racket tourner grip type feel. Then you have the Lamkin Sonar, which kind of sits in the middle with that sort of softer feel, but because it's got tread on the different tyre patterns, if you like, on there, that's a really good for the tackiness and for sort of traction control. Again, this comes in that +2 concept, so again, slightly bigger, the right hand's a little bigger. That tends to be quite popular with people that want a softer feel, but feel that the CPX is just too soft. It does happen. And then you've got the traditional Iomic, which is a natural compound. Great for people with dermatitis and stuff like that, with skin conditions. Natural compound, so it doesn't have any flare-ups. Again, it doesn't come in the +4 concept. It just comes in standard, so you have to build these up. These are from Japan. They come up a bit skinny, so if you're going to have these, you probably want to go with 2 layers. And then, this is not a new idea, but they've put it on the outside, called the line. So back in the day, Reminder was on the inside, just to sort of do a telescope idea to see it. Now they stick it on the outside and paint it red so you can see it. And this basically puts the back of the fingers in the grip. Now, guys who are my age, 51, we were brought up on Reminders, so this feels super comfortable. The younger guy generations, they've brought up on round grips. This feels kind of different. And if you have an absolute fetish for no tread patterns or markings, then you just go with the 360 as is there, which is dead simple. So whichever way you rotate it, it looks the same. Great for adjustable drivers or people that just don't want to see any branding whatsoever. What I would say about fitting a grip is that I would always look at your hand size. Now, I'm a medium-large cadet, a little funky, short fingers, longer palm. Now, this is a coaching scenario where I'm not going to get involved in preferences on grips and whatever else. But if you do the traditional, put it in the back of the fingers and close your fingers over, the meaty pad needs to trap on top. Now I've got very short fingers and a longer palm, so actually for me having a slightly thinner grip, or should we say 2 layers on a standard, is big enough for me. If I go to a mid-size, now those who know me know I flip the hell out of it, probably should go with a bigger grip, but I just can't get my fingers around the bottom of the club, so I end up having a really weak, poor grip. Whereas here, bottom of the fingers, palm on top, and I get a much better position with my left hand. Now, that's personal to me, but when you're doing this, make sure that whatever grip you have, you don't have the fingers digging in, and you don't have this huge gap. Let's try that Jumbo Max. So this massive gap here, where it just doesn't feel right to me. I just can't get comfortable with that. Now, if I'm going in the palm, that feels great. I've never had a palm grip in my life. So it's all down to what you want to do and what you want to use. It's something to think about. What I would say is, rather than do a complete set, sometimes just try one, 7-iron, 8-iron, whatever you feel comfortable with, and just see how you feel with it. Worst case scenario, take it off, put another one on. But at least try something that is maybe a little bit different to what you've used to, or go with what you like to feel texture-wise. Because when you hold it, that's the only thing that communicates the club to you is these, okay? So pay attention to these, because these are very highly skilled bits of kit, all right? Think about that. Love you to speak to you all, and as ever, stay safe.